really interesting how you can also support international students while they're not physically on campus. So what type of services can they sort of approach or avail while they're not on campus, especially considering we would have a lot of students who have not been able to make it to the ANU at the beginning of this year?
Absolutely. So we get students who might be on placement or exchange, or potentially are at home or visiting people across the globe, who will email us and say, I've had an experience, whether it be recent or something that's actually playing on them at that time that's happened historically, and that they're looking for options around care and support. And there are varying options that we can put in place depending on where somebody is in the world. So sometimes that's about providing them with information about local services that are available. Sometimes that's about working with ANU counselling to see what the possibilities are around Skype consultations and those sorts of things as well. And sometimes it might be working with local partners in the ACT or nationally, who are able to meet the needs of that student. So again, we don't work in a formulaic approach. We're working to actually try and find solutions in care and support for the individual that is presented to us. And we are upfront about what the limitations of that are. So there are some limitations in some countries about accessing in-country support, and there might be some limitations attached to time differences and those sorts of things. But we certainly are able to communicate via email and to set up whatever we possibly can to ensure that that person has access to the care and support that they're requiring at that time.
Fantastic. So what are some of the ways that we can support someone who might tell us they've been a victim of sexual harassment on campus?
Absolutely. So I think we underestimate the impact that friends and peers can have in restoring or supporting someone to feel safer on campus. But it is fairly simple. It is the way that we interact with each other as human beings. It's believing each other. It's responding with kindness. It's listening and not correcting or interrupting. It's valuing that the person in front of you has a story and information to share with you. And it may not be congruent with your experience, but that doesn't mean that it's not accurate or not true for that person. Knowing who we are as a unit, knowing where there are access to different service points across the university, but simply being able to respond to someone with kindness, with simple language like, I'm sorry that happened to you. What can I do to support you? Or have you heard of the Respectful Relationships Unit? That would be something that you could have a chat to them about, and they might be able to support you with that. Simple things like that actually make a remarkable difference.
Sure, for sure. And just to make sure that someone who has been a victim of sexual harassment and comes up to another student or a professional staff member, how can we make sure that they are getting the right type of support if they, for example, don't actively come and support the Respectful Relations Unit? Are there ways that you are proactively trying to spread the word or running any training or educational?
Absolutely. So we run Responding to Disclosures training, which is accessible to the whole community. There's also online modules around responding to disclosures, particularly through Pulse, which is accessible. We also run, through our social media, we run campaigns. And we also run poster campaigns across the campus as well that are short, simple narratives around what can you do to improve the outcomes for somebody who's disclosing something like that to you. And some of it is bite-sized information like I've just given you, believe, respond with kindness, and others is more in-depth like the training.
Fantastic. Seems like Respectful Relationships does such an important and amazing role at the ANU, and thank you for all that you do and all the support that you've been providing, and I hope that this unit continues to flourish and a lot of people can avail its benefits.
Thank you very much. We can with all of your support.
Thank you.